General stood before the Grand Council of the Empire. His four arms were folded behind his back. His scales had turned pale gray from stress. The council chamber was massive. Golden light fell from crystal windows above. 12 high lords sat on their thrones in a half circle. They looked down at him with cold eyes. Emperor himself sat at the center. His crown glowed with ancient power. Had served the empire for 300 years. He had conquered 47 worlds. He had never lost a single campaign. His name was feared across 6-star systems. But today he came not as a conqueror. He came as a messenger. He came with a warning. The emperor raised one hand. The chamber fell silent. Every advisor and guard stopped breathing, felt the weight of their attention. He had faced death many times, but this moment scared him more than any battle. "I have studied the species called humans," began. His voice was steady despite his fear. "I have watched them for 10 cycles. I have analyzed their history. I have observed their behavior. My conclusion is simple. We must not attack Earth. We must leave humanity alone." Laughter erupted from the council. Lord nearly fell from his throne. His blue skin turned purple with amusement. The other lords whispered among themselves. They thought had gone mad. The great general was afraid of primitives. Emperor did not laugh. He simply stared at with golden eyes. His expression showed neither anger nor amusement. He waited for silence to return. Then he spoke in his deep voice. "Explain yourself, General. Why should the greatest empire in the galaxy fear a species that has barely reached their own moon?" Took a deep breath. He had prepared for this moment. He activated his data crystal. A holographic display appeared before the council. It showed a small blue planet orbiting a yellow star. "Humanity is young," said. "They have only existed for 200,000 years. They developed technology only in the last few centuries. By our standards, they are infants. But this is exactly why they are dangerous." He changed the display. Now it showed images of human history. Wars and battles flashed across the screen. Cities burned. Armies clashed. Ships sank into dark oceans. Humans have been at war with themselves since they first learned to hold weapons. They fight over resources. They fight over beliefs. They fight over lines drawn on maps. They have never known true peace, not once in their entire history. Lord leaned forward. His serpentine neck stretched toward the display, and this makes them dangerous. They are clearly primitive savages. They will destroy themselves before we even arrive. Shook his head. "That is what I thought at first, but I was wrong. Humanity does not destroy itself, it survives, it adapts, it grows stronger from every conflict." He showed new images, a mushroom cloud rising over a city, soldiers fighting in trenches filled with poison gas, aircraft dropping fire on wooden buildings. The council watched with mild interest. They had seen worse. They had done worse. Humans created weapons that could end their own species, continued. They built enough nuclear bombs to destroy their planet 7 times over. Any rational species would have used them. They would have ended themselves. But humans did not. They sat with destruction in their hands for decades. They chose not to use it. Emperor raised one eyebrow. "That shows restraint, not strength." Stepped closer to the council. His voice grew more urgent. "That is where you are wrong, my emperor. It shows something far more terrifying. It shows that humans can hate each other with every fiber of their being. They can point weapons of total destruction at each other, and still they choose to wait. They choose to endure. They choose to find another way." He paused to let his words sink in. The council members shifted uncomfortably on their thrones. Some began to listen more carefully. "We have conquered many species," said. "The surrendered after we destroyed their first fleet. The gave up when we bombarded their capital. The died fighting, but their will broke after 3 cycles. Every species has a breaking point, a moment when they accept defeat. I have searched human history for such a moment. I have not found one." Lord laughed again, but it was weaker this time. "Every species can be broken, General. It is simply a matter of applying enough pressure. Turn to face him directly. Then let me tell you about human pressure, Lord. Let me tell you about a city called Stalingrad. The display changed again. It showed a frozen city in ruins, human soldiers fighting in every building, bodies frozen in the snow. The battle raged for months in conditions that would kill most species in days. Two human nations fought over this city for 200 days, explained. Temperatures dropped to -40 degrees. Soldiers ate rats and leather to survive. They fought hand to hand in frozen rubble. Over 2 million humans died in this single battle, and neither side surrendered. Neither side broke. The council was silent now. Even Lord had stopped smiling. This was not their worst war, continued. It was not even their bloodiest battle. Humans have fought thousands of such conflicts. They have crawled through mud and fire. They have charged into certain death. They have sacrificed millions of their own kind for causes we cannot understand. And they keep coming back. Every time we think they should break, they find new strength. Emperor stroked his chin thoughtfully. You speak of their past, General, but we are discussing their future. Our technology is far superior. Our empire has existed for 10,000 years. What can these young creatures do against us? Felt his heart sink. They were not understanding. They were not seeing the true danger. Let me tell you what humans do when they face superior enemies, he said. He showed images of small groups fighting larger forces, guerrilla warriors in jungles, resistance fighters sabotaging machines, civilians building weapons from scraps. Humans do not fight fair. They do not accept impossible odds. When they cannot win through strength, they use cunning. They hide. They wait. They strike from shadows. They turn our weapons against us. They learn our weaknesses and exploit them without mercy. He showed one final image, a human soldier lying wounded in a foxhole. Blood covered his face. His leg was shattered, but his eyes burned with defiance. His hand still gripped his weapon. I have seen this look on thousands of human faces, said quietly. I have studied their prisoners of war, their refugees, their dying soldiers. They do not accept defeat. Even when they are beaten, they believe they will win. Even when hope is gone, they find new hope. This is not bravery as we understand it. This is something else, something I cannot explain. Emperor stood from his throne. The council fell silent. The emperor walked down the steps toward. He stopped just inches away. His golden eyes bore into the general. You have served me well. Your conquests have expanded our borders beyond measure. But I think your years of war have finally broken you. You see ghosts in the darkness. You fear shadows. My emperor, please, begged. I'm not afraid for myself. I'm afraid for our people. If we attack Earth, we will win the first battle, perhaps the second, but humans will not stop. They will study us. They will learn. They will adapt. And then they will come for us. Not in a year, not in a decade. They will come in a generation, or 2, or 10. They will build. They will grow. And when they are ready, they will remember what we did. The emperor smiled coldly. Then we will simply destroy them completely. We will burn their planet. We will scatter their colonies. We will leave nothing behind. Shook his head slowly. Others have tried this, Your Majesty. The humans have a saying. They say that if you strike at a king, you must kill him, but you cannot kill what refuses to die. Somewhere, somehow, some humans will survive, and they will carry their hatred across the stars. They will teach their children, and their children's children. They will wait 1,000 years if they must, and then they will return. Emperor turned away. He walked back to his throne. His decision was already made, could see it in his posture. The council will vote, the emperor announced, all in favor of the Earth campaign. 11 hands rose. Only Lord hesitated. His eyes met for a moment. Then he too raised his hand. The motion carries, Emperor declared. General, you are relieved of command. You will return to your estate and rest. The invasion fleet launches in 30 cycles. Stood alone in the great chamber. The council members filed out around him. Some looked at him with pity, others with contempt. None understood what he had tried to tell them. The general walked slowly to the window. He looked out at the stars. Somewhere in that vast darkness was a small blue planet, a world of warriors who did not know how to surrender, a species born in blood and fire, a people who would never stop fighting. Had conquered 47 worlds. He had destroyed civilizations older than humanity. He had never known fear until he studied Earth. The empire was 10,000 years old, its fleets numbered in the millions. Its technology could shatter moons and move stars. And it had just signed its death warrant. Closed his eyes, he saw the future clearly now. He saw cities burning. He saw human soldiers marching through the ashes. He saw his people scattered and broken. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. Because humans never forgot, and humans never forgave, and humans never ever stopped. The general turned and walked away. He would go to his estate as ordered. He would tend his gardens. He would watch the stars at night, and he would wait for the end to begin. In 30 cycles, the invasion fleet would launch. In 31 cycles, the first human world would burn. In 32 cycles, humanity would learn that they were not alone in the universe. And then the real war would start. A war that the Empire could not win, because they did not understand one simple truth, one truth that had learned too late to matter. Humanity was not a species to be conquered. It was a force of nature. It was the storm that never ended. It was the fire that could not be extinguished. And the Empire had just woken it up.